they also hit Esfahan. Now, the next big question is, or several questions. One, is the U.S. going to continue? Is this a one and done? Based on the president's statement, he said completed. We'll take that for now as to be this mission right now is completed for the United States. The next question, will Iran respond and how? The biggest concern all along is that Iran, or more likely Iranian proxies, would go after U.S. installations and assets in the region. There's a lot of them right within very close striking distance of Iran. But one thing that the U.S. has going for them, and this is number one, they've started getting some Americans out of there. They started moving some assets around to get them out of harm's way. But also, in the last 9 days or so, Israel has really taken out a lot of Iran to spill into the atmosphere. Jose, I am far from an expert on nuclear material and radioactive material, but I have been reaching out to people who are experts on this. They say that the risk of that at Fordo is expected to be relatively low. James Acton, who's an expert on these sorts of issues, says that the material there is very low in radioactivity anyway at Fordo, and so the risk of it spilling into the atmosphere is low. The same with Natanz. We also heard from the IAEA this week after those first strikes on Natanz. They said there is very little indication of anything getting out. The big concern here is if they were to hit Bushehr. That's at one of the facilities where there could be some sort of a fallout of radioactive material.
And these are all questions that are up in the air. And Courtney, once again,
welcome in, guys.
For the knowledge that you bring to us, but the fact that the president says that this main site was successfully hit, it could only be successfully destroyed by those ordinances that you were referring to. And in a way, they're not only bombs, they're actually almost like drill tips that are able to penetrate deep in the ground and then at a predetermined distance or depth detonate. What are the possibilities that any other ordinance could have been used?
Very high. I think that we don't know, but the sorts of planning that was going into this that we've been hearing, the sorts of ideas that have been out there. Remember, this is not like, 10 days ago, the United States and Israel started talking about the potential for one day going after Iran's nuclear program and what it would look like. These are the kinds of plans that have been there for years and years, and they just update them and they dust them off as
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
The plans I have
Let me know what you guys think
have
about the
generally
bombings.
included more than just using these massive ordnance penetrators. They've included others as well. The big question is, as the sun starts to come up over Iran in an hour or two, whenever it is will the U.S. or Israel or anyone be able to get any kind of a ground assessment of exactly what happened on the ground if they were able to, with these bombs, really obliterate everything on the ground and really destroy the facility? Or is there some way that with these bombs that they drop, they can almost make it collapse in on itself, for all intents and purposes, entomb itself underground so that it still would be rendered unusable?
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Your interest in automobiles.
Do you love Israel or not?
Take the next step. Start training with instructors with real-world experience and students like you.
I'll start a poll, guys. Do you love Israel or not? What do you guys think? This was 5 hours ago.
Special report. Here's Hallie Jackson.
Good morning. We are coming on the air this morning with an update from the Pentagon on the U.S. strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites ordered by President Trump on Saturday. It's been just about 12 hours now since those strikes were completed, with the president calling them a complete success and saying those nuclear facilities were completely and fully obliterated. Iran did launch retaliatory strikes against Israel overnight. That's one of the latest developments here, but President Trump warning online that any attacks against the U.S. will be met with an even larger response than what we saw in Iran last night. This morning, we are taking you to the Pentagon. We expect to hear from the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Kane. They will be updating on the strikes. We want to take you now to the Pentagon for a quick look. You can see those podiums there. I want to bring in our senior White House correspondent, Garrett Haake, who is joining us now. And Garrett, we're just now getting some more information, at least a little bit, about the operation, which the administration is calling Operation Midnight Hammer against Iran.
some of the outlines of how they conducted this operation, which they describe as one of the largest combat operations of the B-2 stealth bomber ever. They say that this equipment was used overnight with multiple stealth bombers flying to hit Fordo and Natanz, also submarines off the coast of Iran used to hit some of these other nuclear sites, and that the B-2 bombers, but anyone who was on the internet
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
traveling across the Pacific were used as a decoy. So
let me know what you guys think. Are we at war? What's going on?
The more questions we're raising about when it was ordered, the president just late Friday suggested that Iran still had perhaps.
Are we at war, guys? Are we not at war?
To make the decision to close the negotiating door. We hope to get those answers now, Hallie.
Last night on President Trump's orders, U.S.
5 hours ago.
conducted a precision strike in the middle of the night against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs will demonstrate, it was an incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received from our commander-in-chief was focused, it was powerful.
He's fine. He's great.
We devastated the Iranian program.
What do you guys think? I started a poll, guys. Are we at war? Are we not at war? I feel like we shouldn't have a declaration. We don't need a declaration to let us know we're at war.
Of his time in office, President Trump has consistently stated for over 10 years.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
Must not get a nuclear weapon.
We're here to talk about your thoughts on war, the bombing.
Thanks to President Trump's bold and visionary leadership and his commitment to peace through strength, Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated. Many presidents have dreamed
We're
of
cooked.
delivering
Yeah, I think we're
the final
cooked, bro. I don't
blow
know.
to Iran's nuclear program, and none could until President Trump. The operation President Trump planned was bold.
How y'all feel about all of this, man? There's a poll. Are we at war? Yes or no? Go ahead and leave your thoughts at the poll. Answer it. All is a quick yes or no. Yes or no. I'll close out the poll like at maybe 30, 40.
And the U.S. military.
We have 120 people in here. Welcome in, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Are we at war? Are we at war?
The world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth.
Does it need to be a declaration of war to be at war? Or are we at war?
Not even
Also, let me know if you guys want to talk about any videos pertaining to the protests, the LA protests, being smoke and mirrors, the bombing in Iran. How do you guys feel about the United States involving themselves in foreign country wars, even though it involved our allies?
nuclear capability will not exist. He meant it. This is not the previous administration. The President Trump said no nukes. He seeks peace, and Iran should take that path. He sent out a truth last night saying this. Any retaliation by
Did you guys see the
Iran
video of the lady in Denver?
America
I'll pull up the video right now, guys.
force far greater than what was witnessed tonight. Signed, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Iran would be smart to heed those words. He said it before, and he means it. I want to give
The bombing in my toilet?
to the chairman of the
Okay,
Joint
okay,
Staff,
okay.
the Joint Staff, General.
I mean, we're lucky to have a toilet shit. A lot of people just lost hella toilets.
Staff. All of
They just got blown up, bro.
policy across the board. This was a joint effort, and across the Pentagon effort. I want to recognize the pilots who flew those bombers, who flew those fighters, who flew those refuelers, warriors. I want to recognize the sailors on those destroyers, in those subs, on those carriers, warriors. All
Let me know what you guys think at the poll, guys. Are we at war? Are we at war?
doing air defense, base defense, QRF, warriors.
Should we expect another
Every
attack?
American involved in this operation performed flawlessly. And I want to give recognition
Damn.
to our allies in Israel as well. This is
Okay,
a
Mike.
plan
Okay, Mike, I see you.
months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be
The war in my mind.
when the President of the United States called. It took a great deal of precision
Can we talk about the war in my pants?
and
I mean, what's going on in your pants, bro?
operational
What's going on in your pants? Talk about it, bro. Talk about it.
And out downtown Tehran, not Tehran, excuse me, of these nuclear sites, in and out and back without the world knowing at all.
Welcome in, guys.
It's historic. A strike that included the longest B-2 Spirit bomber mission since 2001 and the first operational employment of the MOP, a massive ordnance penetrator. The mission demonstrated to the world the level of joint and allied integration that speak to the strength of our alliance and our joint forces. As President Trump has stated, the United States does not seek war, but let me be clear. We will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened.
Get it out.
Iran should listen to the President of the United States and know that he means it, every word. I want to give congratulations to our Commander-in-Chief. It was an honor to watch him lead last night and throughout, and to our great American warriors on this successful operation. God bless our troops. God bless America. And we give glory to God for his providence and continue to ask for his protection. I turn it over now to the chairman for specifics.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thanks for recognizing all of our folks out there doing our nation's work, and nice to see everybody on this early Sunday morning. Last night, on the President's orders, U.S. Central Command, under the command of General Eric Kurilla, executed Operation Midnight Hammer, a deliberate and precise...
He said, how much tequila did you drink before this? I think too much, bro. Too much.
This was a complex and high-risk mission carried...
Hey, welcome in, welcome in. Let me know what you guys think. Fardo, Natsan, Isfahan got attacked in Iran.
Reflect the highest standards of the United States Armed Forces. This operation was designed to severely degrade Iran's nuclear weapons.
What's good, what's good? Dropship captain.
And executed across multiple domains and theaters.
What's good, guys? What's good, guys?
Reflects our ability to project power globally.
North Korea. Alright, bet. And North Korea, they're not allowed to have cell phones in North Korea, bro.
This was a highly classified.
They can't have shit over there.
Very few people in Washington knowing that.
What's good, what's good? What's good, California?
I'll refer you to the graphic on the side as I walk you through some of the operational details.
I'm on a VPN.
Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of a plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west.
I mean, what do you guys think about this, guys? What do you guys think about this? Let me know what you guys think about war. Is this okay? Is it not okay? Is it fuck America, fuck Israel, fuck Iran? I mean, what do you guys feel about all of this, man? Let me know. Express yourselves. This is your time to express yourselves. There's almost 300 people in here. Express how you feel.
Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings.
I think I want to
Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms.
Joseph McDonald, you think that you can hide, but not from the motherfucking bombs.
This type of integration is
they called it a mop, bro. Joseph, they called it a mop. They said they use a mop strategy.
And just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command area of responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Isfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the 4th and 5th generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package was supported by U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command,
and he's my sipper. Is a hog waiting to party.
Command, U.S. Space Force,
bro.
And U.S. European Command.
How you in North Korea? How you anywhere, bro, doing that shit? How you saying that shit? You crazy, bro.
Protection package employed high-speed suppression.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
Ensure safe
We're talking about the war, the politics. Let me know how you guys feel. Join the chat. I mean, they're more than welcome to interact with you guys.
Surface to air threats. We are currently unaware
Y'all can talk shit to each other.
shots fired at the U.S. strike
Y'all can discuss how you guys feel about everything. I mean, talk about whatever you guys feel.
2:10 a.m. Iran time. The lead B-2 dropped.
It's all going to work out, patience. Obliterate Gaza. Free Gaza. James says obliterate Gaza. Doorship captain says free Gaza. So I mean, what do you guys feel? Like, are you guys from Gaza? Are you guys family from Gaza? What are you guys talking about? I mean, because if we talk about people taking over countries, Israel is trying to take over Palestine, right? Russia is trying to take over Ukraine. China is trying to take over Taiwan. I mean, everybody's trying to take over something.
What you might not know is performance and durability go right along.
If I had been given what I planned for Gladys, I would have finished up Queen of the World. But what does this mean?
Following weapons release, the Midnight Hammer strike package exited Iranian airspace and the package began its return home. We are unaware of any shots fired at the package on the way out. Iran's fighters did not fly, and it appears that Iran's surface-to-air missile systems did not see us. Throughout the mission, we retained the
Your friends are dead?
Prize.
I'm sorry to hear that, dropship captain.
Forces employed approximately 75
If anybody's here and they lost someone to the war, or their family's been affected by the war, I'm sorry to hear that. And my prayers are going to go out to them.
Ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon.
I'm trying to bend me over. Bro, you're crazy, bro.
Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate
China took over what? Sergeant Patrick, Sergeant took over the Himalaya as well, right? I mean, everybody's trying to take over something. Everybody's trying to expand and grow. But, I mean, China signed a declaration of war that by 2025 they will take over Taiwan. The United States also told them if they were to do that, we would get involved. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we got involved in the Iran and the Israel war because Israel is an ally of the United States. So we're backing up our allies. But the consequence to that is Iran has allies with China, has allies with Russia. I mean, they're allied, you know. So we're going to see how they respond to all of this. I mean, I believe that they shouldn't have a nuclear bomb. But I also believe that maybe this wasn't the way to go about it.
Our forces remain on high alert.
So, I mean, let me know how you guys feel, man. There's a poll up right now. How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel it was okay for the United States to join the war? Or should we stay out of it?
We will defend ourselves. The safety of our service members and civilians remains our highest priority. This mission demonstrates the unmatched reach, coordination, and capability of the United States military. In just a matter of weeks, this went from strategic planning.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
This operation underscores the unmatched capabilities and global reach of the United States military. As the president clearly said last night, no other military in the world could have done this. I joined the president.
36% of clearly don't care unless it's you and your friends. That's my take. I mean, yeah, I believe it, man. A lot of people don't give a fuck. Like, if we talk about the protest, you know, in LA that's been going on for over 2 weeks, that supposedly we got the National Guard deployed for. There's over 4,000 National Guards here in the United States right now in California. Over 400 Marines already here in California. But as a Mexican American, you will be ignorant to ignore the fact that we had a war and that the protests had nothing to do with the deployment of the military here to the States. If you still believe that the military was deployed to stop Mexicans from looting or protesting, I mean, you gotta wake up, go drink some coffee, wake up, and realize what's really going on. I mean, we're at war. So, I mean, my message to my viewers, my message to everybody that's here right now is just to get ready, man. Go buy canned food, go buy water, and just get ready, man. I mean, you see what happened when it was COVID-19? When it was COVID-19, there was panic, there was chaos, and the United States has done a great job to avoid causing panic in the United States, because everybody's still at peace, thinking everything's okay. But everything that's happening right now is breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. So I mean, is either you understand that we're at war, or we're at
I think BDA is still pending, and it would be way too
at an
early
imminent
to
threat of a terrorist attack. I mean, a terrorist attack is more likely to happen than us getting bombed by Iran. For a bomb or a nuke or a missile to come over here first, we have a lot of stuff in defense to prevent all of that stuff. What we don't have
I would just say having the opportunity to witness
the capability to stop is a terrorist attack, because there's a lot of people here that are sleepers, you know, sleeper cells they call them, right? They've been here for years waiting to be activated, waiting to be told to do something crazy to the United States, you know, and that's what the United States is afraid of. They're not afraid about bombs. They're afraid of people that are here, that have been here waiting for years to take their opportunity to strike. You know, and I think this is a great excuse. If they didn't want to before, this is a great excuse for them to do so. Bauer, take your asses back to Mexico, Trump 2028. Bruh! Come on, Aunt Bauer. Listen to this guy. Bro,
to your first question.
it's not about Mexico, bro. It's not about are you dumb, bro? Come on, Amp. It's not about Mexico, bro. It's never been about Mexico or the protests or ICE or nothing. It's all been smoke and mirrors to deceive you from the reality that we're at war, so that the American people do not panic and go buy all the toilet paper from all the grocery stores and waters like it happened during COVID. I mean, that's what it is, bro.
Immediately thereafter. Yes.
Thank you, Secretary. Question. Do you believe you completely destroyed Iranian nuclear program? And how about Iranian ballistic missiles? Your ally has
I'm gonna start a poll, guys.
always saying that
I'm gonna start a poll on
biggest threat.
pretty much simple, man. Was
Important.
are
What will be
are we prepared for war or not? Are you,
militias under Iranian
as a citizen, prepared for war?
for allies in the region?
And you can chime in on this too, Mr. Chairman. The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but our initial assessment, as the chairman said, is that all of our precision munitions struck where we wanted them to strike and had the desired effect, which means especially in Fordo, which was the primary target here, we believe we achieved destruction of capabilities there. Ultimately,
Nobody is. All right, Dorship. I mean,
whether it's
nobody is. That's what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, we're not ready for it. But what you can do right now is prepare for it. I mean, my suggestion is, like I said, canned food, water bottles, the basic essentials that you might need, because of the fact that we can get attacked, that the military is here, that there is reason now for the president to enact martial law due to the fact that we are close to war. There's certain things that they can do when we're at war, or there's a possibility of war. They can pass so many laws and do so many crazy things, regardless if Congress signs off on it, regardless if anybody signs off on it. There's so many things that are in place that overrides anybody's law and gives more right to the government, to the president, to decide what they want to do. You know, just like the bombing took place. You know, they didn't run it by nobody.
Iran cannot have a nuclear and ultimately he
sending the soldiers out here, the 4,000 National Guards, 400 Marines. I mean, they didn't ask for permission for nobody. They just sent them. I mean, and they don't have to explain themselves. They don't have to tell Karen Bass. They don't have to tell Gavin Newsom. They don't got to tell nobody what the real plan is. They don't got to say, hey, you know, we're going to go blow up 3 main like what's it say, like uranium enrichment facilities, bases in Iran. And once we do this, they might retaliate. And of course, if they retaliate, they might attack the biggest population in the United States of America. It's 41 million people in the city.
And I would just say, as the president has directly made clear, this is most certainly not open-ended.
Of Los Angeles. There's a lot of people in Los Angeles. Too many people in Los Angeles. You know? And if we're going to get attacked, this is probably more than likely going to get attacked here first. Whiskey Mike, Iran had this coming for 50 years. It's about time. I mean, whether they had it coming or not, I mean, it is what it is, you know? I mean, it already happened. We can't go back in time. We can't stop the bombs from going down. David, too many. Jamal on deck, I'm scared. Jamal on deck, you'll be all right, bro. You'll be all right. Don't be scared, bro. The age for draft, if we were to get to that point, is 25. So if you're above the age of 25, you might be safe. They can change it. They can change the age limit, you know, but as of right now, the age is 25. So don't be scared if you're above the age of 25. I mean, I like I said, I feel like we're not gonna get bombed, but there will be terrorist attacks, I believe, in like major cities. Stay away from stadiums. Stay away from big gatherings, big groups. I mean, those are the easy targets. You know, they want to take out as much people as they can at one time. So, like I said, stadiums, movie theaters, anywhere that's a big gathering. You know, those are going to be like the hot spots and more likely targets to a terrorist attack. You know.
We took advantage of some of the preparatory work that's been done over the
Welcome in,
past
guys.
week and a half in terms of access of
Hey, starting an unprovoked war in Iran with Iran is dumb.
It was a U.S.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everything is unprovoked, but we've been beefing it with Iran
airspace and sky.
and the Middle East for a long ass time already. We just barely pulled out of there like 2 years ago. Like 4 or 5 years ago. My bad. We pulled out a while ago. We stopped the war with them. And when we were at war with them, gas went up. So clearly what we just did right now, be prepared for your gas tanks, your pockets to be hurting. The gas will go up. And also, if you guys invest in stocks, the stock market will crash because of this. So, I mean, I would recommend pulling your money out of the stock market and waiting for it to go back up. This is going to affect us in the long term. I mean, short term, I mean, I don't know what's going on, but long term, it's going to affect our pockets because there's already places that have $7 a gallon for gas, guys. $5 a gallon for gas. I mean, it's not going to go lower now.
Ultimately, they've got a lot of assets and people in those locations also where American troops are co-located.
What's good, bro? Atom bomb. Also,
Close consultation with them, and we appreciate
we aren't in Iran. We flew over it.
Question on sort of the global picture.
No, I know we flew over Iran, bro. I said we were over there. I said we were over there. I didn't say we're there now.
We are always
We have bases close by.
our force posture around the world, and then offering options to the
But I mean,
and to the president.
history has already been made. We already bombed them. So there's nothing stopping us from nuking them. If they actually try to pursue anything from their end to come harm us, or they continue their bombardment on Israel, I mean, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't mind nuking them. I mean, we did it before. We did it to Hiroshima. I mean, the United States is crazy, man.
I can only confirm that there are both public and private messages being directly delivered channels, giving them every opportunity to come to the table.
Can we get more gas and oil over here than Iran has? So I don't know what you're worried about. I mean,
To allow for peace.
it's a trade, bro. I mean, I'm trying to tell you what happened when we were at war with them. Is when we were at war with them, the gas prices were up, and they were claiming because of the oil that was coming from them. You know, so I don't know.
Well,
Dorship Captain, fear
acknowledge that, but the scope of this
not getting is great. We gonna find a solution. I mean, yeah. Ed Litton, I served in the U.S. Army. When you take an oath, you're expected to uphold the oath to protect your country. I mean, I respect that, man. I respect that. Thank you for all the men and women who served in the military and that are going to protect us if anything were to happen and are protecting us from any missile attack, you know. I mean, thank God for everybody that's watching over us.
And General Kurilla in CENTCOM.
I served in Iraq. We did the right thing. America has to quit being candy asses. Sean, all right.
The scope and scale of what occurred last night would take the breath away of almost any American if you had an opportunity to watch it in real time. And I think Tehran is certainly calculating.
That protest on No King's Day was ill. I mean,
planes flew from
it could have been ill, whatever. I mean, like I said, I mean, for me, I feel like it takes us to have a strong leader. And I feel like whether we like Trump or not, he's making decisions that are really hard to make. And the people in government always wanted someone like that, so they're happy.
Could not be more proud of how this building operated, of the precision, the sensitivity, and the professionalism of the troops involved in this effort. I will take one more. We'll take one more question. Yes, right there.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Concerning the justification for these strikes, in March, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released their threat assessment, concluding, quote,
I mean, the war already started. I feel like there's no need for a declaration of war. Once you drop bombs on a foreign land, I mean, what's your definition of war? You're blowing shit up. Big bombs, you know, you're blowing shit up.
And does this new intelligence come from U.S. sources and methods, or are we getting this information from other countries?
Well, I would just simply say that the president's made it very clear.
Matt Rome, when that happened, we did not have an amount of drilling that's going on in America like we do now. You're going to see very little changes, if not lower, because we are getting okay. I mean, I don't know all of that. I mean, I really hope that's true. I really hope that the stock market don't crash. But whenever there is war, time and time again, the stock market crashes. The gas prices go up. I mean, but what do you guys think? Talk to me about conspiracy, guys. Talk to me about how long has this been planned. Let me know how you guys feel, man.
Consequential strike, the airstrike on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The president.
There's anything you guys want to talk about? Any other videos that you guys see surface out there? I can pull it up right now. We can talk about it right now. This is a platform where you guys can share, express yourselves. Let me know how you guys feel about war. Are you guys scared? Are you guys ready? What do you guys feel?
Extremely severely damaged Iranian nuclear capabilities. I want to bring in NBC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel, who is in the region.
I mean, Eric Hernandez, a long overdue for a Great Depression. I mean, a Great Depression is, I mean, it would suck for everybody, right? I'm scared. You'll be alright, bro. The best not be in my, they best not be in my hood. You're funny, bro. This Canadian stands for world peace. Hey, it meant to that. Hey, it meant to world peace, guys. It meant to world peace. But when all this is going on, ain't nobody safe, man. China has nukes. Russia has nukes. And they're upset about all of this, you know. They're upset about this attack right here. So right now, what you guys seeing right now, guys? Natsan, Fordo, Isfahan, all of those were bases that were attacked by the United States military.
That they were in the midst of negotiations, that they weren't stonewalling at all, and that they were trying to talk, and that they were
You're moving to Canada.
In a surprise attack.
Any Canadians want to take Sister Sin with them to Canada? She wants to move out there.
We heard a lot of details from this presser just now.
Trump is the best president ever.
5 aircraft, many of
I
them
mean,
planes,
he's smart.
submarines
He's
involved,
smart. I'll give you that.
some
Trump is very smart.
missiles, 14 of these massive ordnance
Nobody's nuking nobody. I mean, look.
to,
Once somebody presses the red button, you can't. Oh no, let me bring it back. You can't stop the motherfucker. You can't stop the bomb from leaving where it's left. Like you can't stop it. If somebody launches something, you can't stop it. You know. There is other bombs that are created to like collide with them in the air, but it's a chance, you know.
About what Iran's nuclear capability really was. The intelligence on that has shifted.
More of the same people you've been through 2-3 times in a lifetime already. DP, yes you can. Eric, look up the USS Liberty. I looked that up right now, Eric. I got you.
Enriched uranium that could eventually be converted into a nuclear bomb, but no nuclear bombs on hand, no program to actively create those bombs. So this was a preemptive strike, building on Israel's preemptive strikes. And in this press conference, it was clear, and he was asked about the parallels to Iraq and parallels to the danger that the U.S.
Leaning Father, look. For all those who have family that serves in the military, pray for them. Thank them for their service each and every day, and you know, God bless America, man. Hopefully we stay safe.
Flying at this city, exploding in this city, exploding in Haifa.
Trump is looking for a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, he could get it, bro. I mean, he could get it. I mean, he's doing crazy ass shit that people haven't done in years, you know.
So far, just the same kind of missile attack.
I mean, if we had this capability before, why did we send troops to Iran to begin with? Why did we go to war with them to begin with? We could have just blew them up and get it over with, you know.
Potential Iranian retaliation. I want to bring in retired U.S. Army General Barry McCaffrey. General McCaffrey, it's good to have you with us this morning. To Richard's point,
Retired general.
Essentially one and done. You heard Secretary Hegseth say the scope of this strike was intentionally limited. They are looking to send a signal to Iran that this is it, essentially, that they targeted the nuclear facilities. This was not about regime change, in the words of the defense secretary here. And yet, Iran had already warned previously to this strike that
the grow up back in power.
Military bases
Look at
and
you.
US assets in the region if, in fact, the president.
Where was Israel during Iraq and Afghanistan? Worst ally ever. Oh shit.
Bold, decisive. They achieved strike. They achieved surprise. There was deception. It was remarkably well coordinated. It looks, given
I mean,
the amount of ordnance they put.
that is valid, bro. That is valid. I mean, where's that question at? Where was Israel during the war in Iraq? Where was Israel? Were they behind the scenes that we didn't know about? Where were they? Hey, welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. Go ahead and spam your flags. Show support to your country.
Delighted with what's happened. So they've reset the table. Now the question is, what will
Pat Jagger, people believe that Biden was sharp as hey, tackle. I mean, look, we're not talking about Biden. Biden, I mean, he's sick. He's old already. He's older than this guy right here on TV, you know. I don't know what we were thinking.
I've seen the last 20 years. Also, the first one where we didn't have leaks from every source in Washington, D.C. So the operational security was just terrific. Of course, that has undoubtedly angered many members in Congress from both parties, but they did achieve strategic surprise.
General Kane there, particularly pleased with, as you note, the operational security, the lack of leaks, which he said.
Yeah, we need to talk it out, man. Everybody go ahead and comment down below what you guys feel, man. Comment down below what you guys feel about this war, about us getting involved in Israel's war, and bombing Iran.
Well, look, the technology we have, F-35 aircraft, B-2 bombers, they're very difficult to pick off. The Iranian air defenses were massively depleted by the Israeli Air Force in their strikes a few months ago.
Free Palestine, free Palestine. Hey, free everybody, free the United States, free the world, man. Free the world.
But this was one incredible operation. I think we also ought to talk about...
So let me look at this video. Let me look up this video, guys. We got Trump talking. me see the satellite view. This is a satellite view of the blast the United States did over at Iran. The satellite view.
Yeah, Hannah, I mean, just the big takeaways from those comments that were made by the defense secretary just a short while ago. I mean, you listen to the scope of this operation here, some facts in this region here, pretty striking when you think about it that way. Now, there's also the element here, Hannah, is that you look at the landscape of the region today. Look at these satellite images of what transpired here in Iran and what's left of some of those facilities there, the massive craters in the ground. If you look at the entire landscape of the Middle East here today, there is a confluence of sentiments and emotions. There is certainly anxiety from some allies in the region. There is anger from some adversaries. There is a lot of bravado. There is a lot of posturing around the region. But through all of that, you heard the defense secretary say the back channels are still open between the United States and Iran. They are still hoping for a diplomatic resolution to this. They did not
Free the world, free the world.
They stood
Yeah, man.
to this operation that diplomacy was going to yield anything.
I wish we could drop all the borders. I wish we could drop all the borders and just have peace, but you know, that's just a dream.
Between Tehran and Washington.
It's called collateral damage. Our ancestors had 2 world wars. For what? If they see the world now, they probably would have bothered. Oh yeah, probably. I mean, who knows, bro? It's all about the money. Lucky you, Iran's asking for you. Shit. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, everybody. How you guys doing today, man? How do you guys feel about the war? I was trying to pull up this video. One of the viewers asked for the USS Liberty. Let me see. Let's type that in right there. If you guys want me to pull up a video, you guys want to talk about it, something you guys seen on social media, let me know. We can pull it up. I said there it is, USS Liberty. He wanted to talk about that. I guess it got the capability of stopping something, huh?
On June 6, 1967, Israeli Air Force fighters attacked Egyptian air bases, destroying 80% of their air assets. By June 7th, the air forces of Jordan and Syria were also destroyed, mostly on the ground, but the war was being monitored. The United States and other nations had a vested interest in what was transpiring in the Middle East, and gathering intelligence was critical for both political and strategic military planning. What was the USS Liberty? Why was it in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea during the Six-Day War? Why did Israeli air and naval forces attack an American ship? Why was so much effort put into the cover-up after the event? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, a veteran of the United States Army and Marine Corps, former history professor, book author, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History.
Tax will go up. End of the day, work class will pay.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was old, I guess. Let me see. Do we had an attack in Colorado? Let's see. Colorado terrorist attack. Let me see. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. We're talking about the Colorado attacks. We're talking about the war. We're talking about the war in Iran. We're talking about U.S. interfering. There it is.
Here is a post from the New York Post on X with a photo. They're saying that the FBI has raided the home of Colorado terrorist suspect Mohammed Sabri Soleiman. And I want to continue this conversation by bringing onto the program now a former FBI Special Agent Scott Duffy. Scott, good to see you.
Good morning, Corral. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for joining. I guess I want to start with the fact that, so this is being investigated as the sole suspect alone attack, if you will. How does the FBI investigate these sort of cases in comparison to, let's say, someone that is tied to an extremist group?
Yeah, so it looks like the FBI in Boulder, Colorado came out pretty quickly with regards to calling it an act of terror as opposed to something that comes out a little bit later. Ultimately, an act of terror allows the FBI to leverage its resources pretty quickly to assist Boulder and all local authorities in this attack, this unfortunate attack on 8 individuals. So, with regards to terrorism, right, the FBI is able to bring all its resources, being able to look at the digital footprints of this individual. Is this a person who has mental issues and thereby calling out, free Palestine, kind of drumming that old mantra again and again since the October 7th attacks. And they're able to look to see if there's any direct connections. Anybody else involved? Is this a conspiracy? Is this one of several attacks that are going to be leveraged by a group? Or is this a lone wolf who has taken into heart whatever that is being put out there in the media
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
To commit acts of violence.
This was an attack, 8 injured in the Colorado attack by a man yelling "Free Palestine." What do you guys feel about that?
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with it. You see, we test.
This morning, law enforcement agencies are on high alert for retaliation following a series of U.S. airstrikes against Iran. Good morning, I'm Lawrence Gafidi.
High alert, guys, high alert.
3 Iranian nuclear sites across the country. President Trump says he hopes this will push Iranian leaders back to negotiations for a nuclear deal. Karen Kafa is live at our nation's capital with this developing story.
These strikes, President Trump delivered a blow to Iran's nuclear ambitions. The Pentagon this morning giving new details about what the military codenamed Operation Midnight Hammer. It included more than 125 U.S. military aircraft, including half a dozen B-2 stealth bombers, and the mission lasted about 25 minutes. President Donald Trump addressing the nation, announcing the United States had, in his words, successfully hit Iranian nuclear sites.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
American B-2 bombers were used to strike the key sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Sources familiar with the operation say the strikes involved so-called bunker buster bombs, 30,000-pound bombs with 6,000 pounds of explosives. It's believed to be the only ordnance able to reach deeply buried facilities, and it's the first known instance of the bomb being used in a military strike.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Trump called Iran the, quote, bully of the Middle East and says now is the time to make a deal.
There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
But Iran is downplaying the impact of the strikes and says diplomacy is only possible with an end to the violence.
As long as there are attacks, negotiations will be meaningless.
Following the U.S. attacks, Israel and Iran continued trading missile strikes for a 9th day, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lauded Trump's actions and echoed calls for peace.
His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys.
And this morning,
I don't know how to read what you're texting. I'm sorry.
did not target Iranian military.
I can't read it. It's foreign. Translate. Use Google Translate, guys. Somebody tell me what they said.
Iran in an effort to bring them to the negotiation table. Live in Washington this morning, I'm Karen Kafa. Now back to you.
Here at home, Democrats are
Brach Hashim, what does that mean? C-Main.
Military power. Colorado Congressman Jason Crow wrote that President Trump broke a promise to keep America from entering new conflicts. He also accused the president of exceeding his authority. Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd, who represents Colorado's southern and western communities, expressed support for the strikes. In a post on X, he wrote that he, quote, fully supports actions taken to prevent an evil regime from being able to harm us, Israel, and our other allies. We will, of course, continue to cover the impacts of these strikes throughout the day. Download the 9 News app on your smartphone.
What do you guys want to talk about, guys? What do you guys want to talk about? How do you guys feel about the war? Oh, okay. That's what you're saying? I was blessing God for this. A way of saying thank you. Nice.
We just got brand new details about Operation Midnight Hammer from Defense Secretary
Operation Midnight Hammer, guys. That's what it was called.
Staff. Now, here with me at the Magic Wall to break this all down and about what we know is retired Colonel Cedric Layton. Colonel, thank you so much for being here. Take us through this mission, because it had been in the planning for quite some time.
It really has, Manu, and this is the graphic that the DoD provided us with this. So they started, they've been planning this for, in some ways, for over a year, and in other ways they've been doing exercises.
So where's war? Watch your 6. Yeah, I mean, where's war, guys?
2 or more years. But the key thing is this: the actual operational planning really started a few weeks ago once the direction came from the president to do this kind of thing. So when they left Whiteman Air Force Base, they did it basically right after midnight on the 21st of June, and then they came through and struck the targets in Iran about 18 hours later, 18 hours and 19 hours later, and they hit the 3 sites that we've been talking about before. These are the ones that, of course, have become famous now: Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. And these are the ones that, of course, not only because they've been in the news, but because of what they had, became important from an operational perspective to actually eliminate. And that's why they had the kind of payload that they did on the B-2.
And there's been a lot of discussion about the Fordo facility in particular. And the Pentagon says they've obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities. But Fordo in particular, how hard is that to penetrate?
So take a look at this right here, Manu. When you see the security perimeter right here, and then in just a second we'll get some more details here, because you've got the support building and tunnel entrances. This is way deep underground. Almost.
If it looks blurry, guys, double tap the screen. It might get a little better for you. Double tap the screen. It'll get a little better for you.
That I talked about, that support building, and this mountain covers the centrifuges. The centrifuges are the key part to them doing what they need to do to, in essence, enhance the uranium to get it to the level that they need. So when you look at what this looked like before June 20th, this is what the fuel enrichment facility looked like from a satellite view. Now take a look at what happened here. Every single thing that you see here has been actually changed a bit. When you look at this, the June 20th slide, take a look at the facilities up here and over here. Now look, this is gone. This right here is also gone. So these are the kinds of things that happen. And another thing that's really interesting about this, take a look. This is that support building that we showed earlier. Everything looks intact. These are the tunnel entrances. Now let's take a look. When you go over here, you see that these tunnel entrances have been damaged beyond repair. There's what appears to be smoke damage right here at the support building. And then when you look here, see these things right in this area right here. These are penetration holes right where the bombs hit. And when you look at, there's actually a further one when you go this way, right up in this area, right here, which shows that there are very key precise impacts that they struck. And the idea here was to get at the centrifuges and to use it with multiple bombs so that they could go down deep enough to eliminate the possibility of them.
I'm moving into Mexico.
The Pentagon says this thorough evaluation is still ongoing. And meantime,
Yeah, I mean, get ready, guys. Just buy canned food, water.
From the Iranians against U.S. assets in the
I
region.
mean, we can't really do much, you know, just...
Thousands of troops as well.
Yeah, basically 40,000 troops throughout the Middle East, Manu, and especially concentrated in the Persian Gulf region, what's across the Persian Gulf, Iran itself. So that means that it's within missile ranges of not only the long-range missiles, obviously, but short-range missiles as well, that the Iranians could easily lob into the areas such as the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iraq. So those are the kinds of things that our forces have to worry about from a force protection standpoint. But each one of these areas really makes it very clear that every single one of our troops is definitely within range, but that doesn't mean that they can't defend themselves. They will be able to defend themselves if the proper measures are taken and if we have the right intelligence when it comes to Iranian intentions.
Yeah, that's everything that U.S. is watching for right now, that next step the Iranians may take. Colonel Layton, thank you so much for breaking this all down for us.
You bet, Manu.
Wolf, back to you.
All right, Manu, joined now by CNN national security analyst Beth Center. Beth, thanks so much for joining
Got us in control, man.
Gathering is happening right now to ensure that the Pentagon's original assessment that had been
Yeah, I mean, Winco, you can go to Winco, Costco, you can go to Food for Less, you can go anywhere to go buy canned foods. I mean, just have it just in case. I'm not saying go break the bank. I'm just saying be ready just in case we are put on lockdown. We do experience an attack and we're not able to go anywhere to go purchase anything and told us shelter in place. Are you ready to shelter in place? That's what my question is. Are you ready to shelter in place? You know, let me start that for. Are you ready to shelter in place?
Everywhere we can to put together a picture of what happened inside that hall. But in addition to that, everybody, at least all of us on the outside, are asking the question, where is all of Iran's highly enriched uranium and their centrifuges? Can we say that with these 3 sites hit, that there aren't...
Yeah, you got canned tuna. I mean, canned tuna's good, bro. Canned chicken, tuna, ravioli, everything canned is good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Panic buying during COVID was the problem. So now, don't panic buy. I mean, I went to the store. It was peaceful. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. Hella stocked. You know, there's food for everybody right now. Nobody's panic buying all the toilet paper up. So you guys have time to go buy it peacefully without being panicked. We have the National Guard here. I mean, go ahead and go shopping peacefully, man. Just get ready just in case you do get an order of shelter in place.
A couple of different ways. Again, looking at all the groups that are very well known, that have been tracked over many years because they have attacked U.S. troops.
Iran's foreign minister calls Trump's a lawless bully.
And we are also, I'm sure, working with our liaison partners in these countries. For example, the Iraqis have been fantastic partners. They don't like
That's it. Buy what you need for a while, not for a year. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, just buy stuff. No need eggs, beans, and rice. I mean, beans and rice are good, bro, because they're dry, they're dehydrated. Add water. You'll be all right.
For doing what they can to keep the lid on these militia groups in their countries. So we will be working with our...
That'd be crazy. All banks not opening tomorrow. ATMs out of service. That's crazy.
All of this.
Still a very, very dangerous situation indeed. All right, Beth Center, thanks so much.
People will go nuts.
Federal officials are warning about the potential retaliation from Iran in the wake of the U.S. attack on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. This morning, Iran's foreign minister warned that they have to respond, and the U.S., quote, crossed a very big red line, end quote. Joining us now, CNN's Homeland Security analyst, Julia Kayyem. Julia, thanks so much for joining us. What do you think? What are Homeland Security officials doing right now under this heightened alert? How concerned are they?
I am illegal.
They are concerned. We are hearing that there's going to be more focus on the domestic intelligence.
If you don't like it, leave. Rich people games.
We don't know to what extent
nobody is ready.
Ready to activate, but it is something worth watching. We've talked a lot about the denigration of Iran's capabilities to launch.
Said Iran ain't gonna do shit. I mean, hopefully, bro.
Syria, but nonetheless, those capabilities have not been eliminated.
If they're on my porch, different story. I mean, nobody cares. Like how Dropship said, nobody cares unless it affects you personally or impacts you. Like if you have a loved one that's in the military, that's being deployed overseas. I mean, you're not gonna care. You're not gonna care about none of this unless either we get attacked, or you go clubbing, or you go watch a soccer game or a football game at one of these stadiums and they blow up, and you lose a leg or arm, and then this becomes an issue, right? But other than that, you're not gonna care.
From Iran's perspective, going after U.S. interests abroad is going to be easier.
Country 79, this is laughable. I mean, why do you think it's laughable, bro? Let us know in the comments. Why is it laughable?
So it's going to be easier for them to launch.
Damn, Country 79, Israel is.
Silly and naive.
Remix 40, I don't care. Oven, I don't go into crowded areas. I mean, that's smart, bro.
And so those sleeper cells, which
it's a non-violent thing, relax.
Followed for some time, they may have gone dark.
That's what the U.S. is gonna tell Iran on doorship. It was non-violent. I promise it was non-violent.
Now, and a Homeland Security Department,
Shit.
which has been really focused on ICE enforcement, is going to have
everything can be done over words and weed. Amen.
Of course, attacks here, whether they have the capacity or the manpower now, we don't know.
I mean, yeah, man.
If they're looking
some good food,
in the homeland, that's what they're
some good desserts,
at the Department of Homeland Security.
And world peace sounds great, but right now we have war.
Thank you.
Your interest in automobiles already sets you.
Iran's secretive Fordo fuel enrichment plant is buried deep underground and considered virtually unreachable by conventional aerial weapons. It's not yet confirmed what exactly the US used to attack the nuclear facility, but experts do say the only known way to destroy it would be to use a massive bunker-busting bomb.
The GBU-57, better known as a bunker buster or the massive ordnance penetrator. And the US is the only country in the world that has them.
The GBU-57, which is the massive ordnance penetrator that's being discussed heavily in terms of American involvement in Iran, can actually penetrate up to 200 feet before detonating its ordnance. It is the only weapon in anyone's arsenal globally that's able to successfully target and potentially even eliminate facilities like Fordo. It was designed originally with the intent of attacking and destroying targets specifically built into mountains.
The Fordo facility southwest of Tehran is at the heart of Iran's nuclear program. It includes hundreds of centrifuges, reportedly buried up to 90 meters underground inside a mountain. And according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, the site has been used by Iran to enrich uranium to 60%, well beyond what's required for civilian purposes.
And let's bring us up with the latest analysis from William Alberg. He's from the Pacific Forum, a foreign policy research institute. He's also a former director of NATO's Arms Control Center. With me in the studio, Shani Razan is our Middle East expert. Let's begin with what damage has been done. We're now getting images through, satellite images, I believe. Do they show up much?
Yes. So I've just seen imagery that shows that the entrances have been sealed with dirt, and the site's the most critical part of the facility. You can see actual holes, and it looks like a boring hole has been created, like by a post digger or something like that. Incredibly precise, and so it looks like
it's bound to happen. I called it. You called it.
You say precise. You say
anyone with the brain called it.
And how precise are these?
I mean, yeah, man.
They're very, very precise. I mean, down to the meter.
Anybody with a brain would realize that we're at war,
and then you follow it,
and that everything that's been going on,
if not really close to it, so
is smoke and mirrors. You know, everything that's been going on has been smoke and mirrors.
What about Israel's take here?
America does not give a fuck about illegal immigrants in their country. America didn't give a fuck about the Irish protests.
There was no certainty.
This was the real reason why we got ready, guys. This was the real reason why we have the military in California. The United States did not give a fuck about the ICE protests, the movement, the Mexicans at the Home Depot, nothing. This was the real reason, and this is the real reason why we got ready. Because now we're on high alert and we could possibly get attacked at any moment. You know, the only good thing about all of this is we don't have 2 more twin towers. Because if we did, I guarantee you they probably would have been attacked already.
Complications is smaller, and that's just for the immediate attack. Of course, the repercussions on the longer strategic stage are still there, but that definitely, no doubt, that the Israeli military successes have helped the Americans decide to bring in the final boot. So they hope, at least, that it will be the final hit that will seal the deal in a way.
How do you guys feel, guys? How do you guys feel? You guys ready? Are you guys ready to shelter in place? You guys got canned food? You guys got enough water? And not just for you, I'm talking about for your family, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, everybody.
Well, officially, Israel says this has lots of targets still on its list. I mean, we still need to see exactly what kind of damage has been done. But I think for Israel, the biggest achievement is the symbolic meaning behind bringing the Americans in, far more than the exact damage that's been done or not been done to the Iranian nuclear sites. The cementing of the U.S.-American ties in such strong way, the signal that it sends out, I think that's definitely something that Israel would be very proud of and very much wanted to achieve. And would also, if we're talking about, again, the ripple effects, where we're heading, what we're talking about strategically, I think Iran has seen in the last 2 years, or almost 2 years, 20 months since October 7th, that all the strategy that it's called the ring of fire that it tried to build around Israel with its proxies, that had failed. But not only that, you've had earlier in this talk conversations about Turkey, about Russia, about other so-called
Doorship, that's the plan here for most people in Arizona. They are willing to eat the rich than starve. I asked several people randomly.
The choice is really stark for them. They can either try asymmetric
Ella,
escalation,
big mafia,
so
but not
hitting
stay
shipping to terrorist attacks around the
in
world,
his own
somehow
country.
to try to strike back at the United States in a way
Amber, I'm just concerned how many junkies are within a 100-mile radius. Otherwise, we are cool with Texans. Are just gonna grab some beers and kick back. I mean, everybody's gonna react differently to all of this, you know?
Iran, really the best option now is negotiation. Because I think the nuclear issue at least, can only really be solved through negotiation.
Because we talk about this conflict being a couple decades in the making.
They will eat the rich.
Israel,
they don't care. I mean, what do you guys think about that one guy, Mark Zuckerberg? What do you think about all the rich people, all the billionaires that already had an idea of what's going on? They went to Hawaii. If you guys look that up, let's look that up real quick. The rich going to Hawaii to go build bunkers. Let's see. And then we could talk about the plane that they just landed, that is supposed to house all the important scientists, military people, and that it's basically a nuclear bomb resistant plane. So did they know all along, guys? Did they know something we don't know? Did they get...
cataclysmic doomsday event is probably not going to happen in our lifetimes, but if it does, don't worry, ultra-rich people will be fine, because apparently, tech billionaires are buying up luxurious bunkers and hiring military security to survive a societal collapse. Everyone from Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk to Mark Zuckerberg is buying up secret bunkers they can run to in the event of a cataclysmic disaster. That's right, today we're talking about billionaires building bunkers. Bucko. And we've got some insight into what these billionaires might be thinking thanks to the author Douglas Rushkoff, who received an invitation to give a talk to a small group of ultra-wealthy men that bombarded him with questions like Bitcoin or Ethereum, virtual reality or augmented reality. Who will get quantum computing first, China or Google? I feel like these are the questions you would get asked if you were on a bad date with a tech bro.
They said Alaska or New Zealand, meaning where should they situate their bunkers for the event?
Yeah, for some reason, New Zealand is a really popular spot for billionaires building underground bunkers. If things take a turn for the worse, I guess there's going to be a bunch of billionaires living in the hills of New Zealand like hobbits, which is ironic because they're really more like Smaug sitting on his pile of gold. The billionaires also ask questions like, should a shelter have its own air supply? I'd go with yes on that one. Like if an independent air supply is an option, why not just do it? This is doomsday we're talking about here. It's not the time to get cheap. Now, if you're wondering, how would rich people maintain control of their security force after their money is worthless? Well, they're wondering the same thing.
The question we ended up spending the majority of time on was, how do I maintain control of my security force after my money is worthless?
I think the solution is simple. Inside your secret bunker, you just build another even secreter bunker that you can escape to if your security force tries to overthrow you. The billionaires considered using special combination locks on the food supply that only they knew. That's pretty good, but what if the owner dies from like natural causes? Then nobody has access to the food. They also considered making guards wear disciplinary collars of some kind in return for their survival. Yeah, just treat your guards like a bunch of unruly dogs. That won't backfire on you. Like the guards are walking around the bunker with collars on their necks while the billionaires' actual dogs are walking around without collars. If that was your suggested plan, I don't think your security force would even wait for the doomsday event to stage a coup. They would turn on you the minute you suggested that. Here's my idea. You guys will wear disciplinary collars around your necks to ensure that you behave like good boys.
What's good, Buzz? What's good, Buzz?
I tried to reason with them. The way to get your guards to exhibit loyalty in the future was to treat them like friends right now. Don't just invest in ammo and electric fences, invest in people and relationships. Now, I agree. As, among other things, a movie theater, a gym, a pool, and bidets.
Why do you have bidet toilets?
If we put toilet paper for 75 people, that volume of toilet paper would take an entire floor.
And they could also wipe their asses with their cash, since that'll be worthless.
Okay, bidet it is.
Okay, bidet it is. Bidet, mate. Has someone made that joke already? Let's see. Oh, not only has someone made that joke, but they've trademarked it and turned it into a product. I guess I was beaten to the punch on that one.
This is an indoor shooting range.
A bunch of people only interested in their own survival, trapped in a small bunker with limited supplies and easy access to guns. What could go wrong?
That pre-filter would come on and it takes all of volcanic ash out of the air.
Okay, so I'm not going to die in a super volcano situation.
Not here.
Oh, well, you are going to die, but not rich people, no. Yeah, it's weird to watch tours of these bunkers as a person who's never going to be inside them. It's like, oh, okay, so if society collapses, this is where the rich people will be chilling while I'm desperately trying to survive. So they'll be sliding down a water slide while I'm bashing a man's head in with a rock to steal his can of beans. Okay, cool, cool. The fake windows in the units show live footage of the outside world to make it feel like you're actually seeing outdoors.
When these windows are all on, you're coming out of the units and you see the birds flying and the sunset coming up. That's the input your brain is used to.
Yeah, but in an apocalypse, that's not what you're seeing. You're seeing destruction and chaos on that live video feed. I feel like that would be kind of a downer.
Please let me into the bunker, please. I'll do anything. I'll be your slave. Please let me in, please. I don't want to live out here. I don't want to live in this hellscape. Bazinga.
At the high end of the floor plans are the penthouse units, starting at a cool $4.5 million. Now, usually penthouse means a unit is on the top floor of a building where you get the best view of your surroundings, but that doesn't really work in an underground bunker. So based on the model pictures on their website, it looks like they try to simulate that by changing the footage being displayed on the fake windows to make it appear as if you're high up in the sky.
To get an idea of just how safe it is to live inside this bunker, I visited its very low-tech cousin down the road.
Okay, can I pay to live in that silo for cheap? Like, it wouldn't be nice, but it would still be better than living on the surface during an apocalypse. There's another luxury bunker in Virginia called Airy, named after a resting place for birds of prey. I'm not sure why you'd name an underground bunker after a thing that's built as high up from the ground as possible. But then again, I guess if you're going for luxury branding, you can't name it something more accurate, like the Gopher Hole. This one is quite a bit more expensive at $20 million per membership, of which there are only 625 available, and they will be offering 4 tiers of memberships. Our 4 membership tiers are
$20 million, guys, if you want to survive. $20 million. What the
slightly
fuck?
longer than the pores. The cheapest can be afforded by a moderately successful CEO, while a secretive top tier, known as the Asylum membership, will be by invite only. Nice.
The power of we can.
That's crazy, guys.
It looks.
Nice. Instead of starting the world over with an
Yeah, $20 million for the cheapest one.
class system from the get-go. They plan to build the Lux underground pads in each of the 50 U.S. states. Are they going to be interconnected? That would be crazy. And maybe this is the real reason that Elon Musk started the Boring Company. So he and his billionaire buddies can have a whole underground city for when shit blows up on the surface world. The underground abode will be decked out with a number of lavish amenities such as wellness areas, gourmet dining, and a medical suite with robots for doctors. Are robot doctors a thing? Why are they being saved for doomsday bunkers? Also, do the different membership tiers have like different qualities of robot doctors? Like the
Yeah, do you guys want to pitch in 20 million? Let's get a room down there. We all squeeze in.
They say that they have both famous and infamous clients. How infamous are we talking? Mark Zuckerberg infamous? Vladimir Putin infamous? You know, this is starting to sound like a bad sitcom. A bunch of unlikable rich people having to live in one bunker together. Bunk bed bunker buds with Mark Zuckerberg and Vladimir Putin. Vladimir, how many times do I have to tell you, this is my bed and that's your bed? No, both beds belong to me. For clients with large households, like one with 150 rotating staff members, safe systems track assets and detect problems to ensure nothing is ever misplaced or compromised. There is no way a billionaire would bring 150 staff members into a bunker with them. I'd be surprised if they brought any of their staff members with them. Here's your breakfast, sir. Ah, thank you. You know, Bernard, you've been a good, loyal employee to me for these past
So we're watching right now, we're watching all the bunkers and how much it will cost you to go try to live in a bunker. And the lowest average cost is $20 million, guys. $20 million to live in the bunker. I mean, with $20 million, I'm pretty sure you could build your own fucking bunker. Shit.
Goddamn billionaires. If you're going to be able to survive underground, we want you to be having fun. Who says the end of days can't be fun? Some companies outfit homes with rotating fireplaces that double as secret doors and phone booths that reveal slides to underground bunkers. I'm not sure a phone booth is a good cover for a secret door. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Phone booths have been obsolete for like 30 years, and nobody ever had phone booths in their homes. Forget running for the hills. Today's wealthy are sliding down into their luxurious hideouts, straight past the Shark Tank and into a flight simulator. That sounds less like a doomsday bunker and more like an emergency entertainment room, like if you need to escape a really boring dinner party. And so Charlotte, our oldest, is about to head off to college. We're excited about that. Oh God, this is so boring. I gotta get out of here. Mark Zuckerberg is building a huge super secret compound in Hawaii, complete with plans for a huge underground bunker that's expected to cost in excess of $270 million. I feel like rich people are investing so much money into these bunkers that they're gonna try to make a doomsday event happen just so that their investment doesn't go to waste. In a nearby wooded area, a web of 11 disc-shaped tree houses are planned, which will be connected by intricate rope bridges. That sounds more like something you would build after the apocalypse when you're trying to rebuild society. The partially completed compound consists of more than a dozen buildings with at least 30 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms in total. Why does Mark Zuckerberg even need a giant bunker? He's been trying to sell all of us on the vision of living in the metaverse. If the metaverse is really so great, then he doesn't need a luxurious bunker. All he should need is a small room and a VR headset. Hey, you know what? What if all this bunker stuff is just a diversion? Maybe the ultra-rich want us focused on these bunkers to distract us from the real doomsday plan, which is to go into outer space. And that's why people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are so interested in space travel. I think they're preparing an escape plan. And then when the doomsday event happens, we're all going to be looking for these bunkers like a bunch of idiots, but all the billionaires are going to hop into a rocket ship and be like, so long, and thanks for all the money. Hey, if you like this video, check out this one.
We have built an extraordinary number of underground
I'm gonna pull out the plane that can take withstand a nuclear blast that they have right now. The United States military has right now. No, they're not yet.
In Tel Aviv and its southern suburbs sustained heavy damage, including many residential buildings and an elder care home. Israel also said it had launched a series of strikes against military targets in Iran, including in Tehran, Tabriz, and Yazd. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, said 30 fighter jets had struck dozens of military targets across Iran. Iranian media reported several civilian fatalities, including children, and damage to homes and other civilian infrastructure. Earlier, on 21st June, Israel attacked for a second time since 13 June the Isfahan nuclear complex, hitting 6 buildings. According to Iran's Ministry of Health, as of 21st June, 430 people have been killed and more than 3,500 others injured due to Israeli strikes across Iran. Most have been civilians. According to Israeli authorities, 25 Israelis have been killed and 1,300 more have been injured since the beginning of exchanges with Iran. Madam President, the conflict risks engulfing the region in further instability and volatility. Some non-state armed groups aligned with Iran warned against U.S. involvement. The Houthis in Yemen and some armed groups in Iraq vowed to attack if the U.S. intervened in the conflict between Israel and Iran. Iran's parliament unanimously expressed support for measures to close the Strait of Hormuz, a vital maritime route for global energy transit. Iran's Supreme National Security Council would need to take the final decision. I recall the rights and obligations of all states under international law in relation to maritime navigation. Madam President, the Middle East cannot afford yet another violent conflict where civilians pay the price of military confrontations. And the world will also not be spared from the ramifications of this dangerous conflict. I echo the Secretary General's call on Member States and on the members of the Security Council to de-escalate and to uphold their obligations under the UN Charter, notably the obligation to settle their international disputes by peaceful means and other rules of international law. All states must live up to their nuclear commitments. All parties to the conflict must also comply with the relevant rules of international humanitarian law in the conduct of their military operations. There is no military solution to this conflict. We need diplomacy, de-escalation, and confidence building now. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank Mr. Yemcha for his briefing, and I now give the floor to Mr. Rafael Mariano Grossi.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I would like to thank the Secretary General for his permanent support to the IEA and myself in the discharge of my duties. I also like to thank the Assistant Secretary General for his intervention.
I'm too young to die, bro. People die younger, bro. It's okay. Don't be scared.
A special session of the Board of Governors of the IAEA tomorrow morning in Vienna to continue the consideration of this issue that this body has started today, or has continued today, rather. Secretary General, Madam President.
Stelly, okay, I got it. I love that, bro. I don't care. He said whether he's here or not, he's going to heaven. He's okay. Amen, bro. Whatever happens, we are going to die eventually.
Half a century is on the line. The dramatic events in Iran have become even more serious.
Yeah.
With last night's
You're going to be all right, Jamal. I hope everything's okay, man. I hope we don't get attacked.
Of the conflict. We have a window of opportunity to return to dialogue and diplomacy. If that window closes, violence and destruction could reach unthinkable levels, and the global non-proliferation regime, as we know it, could crumble and fall. Iran, Israel, Iran, the Middle East need peace, and there is a path for diplomacy. We must return, as the Secretary General just said, to the negotiating table and allow the IAEA inspectors, the guardians of the NPT, to go back to Iran's nuclear sites and account for the stockpiles of uranium, including, most importantly, the 400 kilograms of enriched uranium at 60%. Any agreement, ladies and gentlemen, any arrangement will have as a prerequisite the establishment of the facts on the ground. This can be done only through IEA inspections. IEA inspectors are in Iran, and they must do their job. This will require a cessation of hostilities so that Iran can let the teams to the sites under the necessary safety and security conditions. Any special measures by Iran to protect its nuclear materials and equipment can be done in accordance with Iran's safeguards obligations with the agency. This is possible. Madam President, based on the information available to the IEA, let me update you on what has occurred at Iran's nuclear sites since I last addressed this council 3 days ago. Craters are visible at the Fordo site, Iran's main location for enriching uranium at 60%, indicating the use by the United States of America of ground-penetrating munitions. This is consistent with statements from the United States. At this time, no one, including the IAEA, is in a position to assess the underground damage at Fordo. At the Isfahan nuclear site, additional buildings were hit overnight, with the US confirming their use of cruise missiles. Affected buildings include some related to uranium conversion process. Also, at this site, entrances to tunnels used for the storage of enriched material appear to have been hit.
Welcome back. Israel continues to hammer Iranian nuclear sites to disable the country's atomic capabilities. So far, it's launched dozens of strikes on these facilities you see in the northern and north-central parts of the country. It includes the one that is most concerning to everyone, Fordo. That site is buried deep in a mountain, about 300 feet below ground, some 60 miles outside Tehran. Taking out that facility will require a much bigger bomb than Israel has in its arsenal. The president's considering deploying a U.S. bunker buster bomb. It is capable of penetrating 200 feet underground before detonation. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin explains. Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jackie. Well, we've just learned that the USS Nimitz, the aircraft carrier strike group, will be arriving in the Middle East this weekend. That's significant in terms of any potential strike on Fordo, because on board are not only dozens of warplanes and up to 5,000 sailors, but also the very important EF-18 Growler electronic warplanes that are needed if you were to fly the B-2s over Iran. Now, here at the Pentagon, there is little doubt whether the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, or MOP, could destroy Iran's Fordo nuclear facility, buried, as you said, 300 feet under a mountain complex with layers of limestone and dolomite rock, which geologists call nature's own bomb shelter. Shown here during a test in 2018 and developed by the Air Force specifically to address Iran and North Korea's underground nuclear sites, the MOP was designed to penetrate 200 feet underground. Further, if two missiles are dropped via GPS positioning into the same hole.
Does it have the capacity, if it's employed the correct way, to have the effect inside the mission space? Absolutely.
Retired Navy Captain Todd Sawhill oversaw the Defense Department's targeting operations, advising 5 CENTCOM commanders and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs on weapons like the MOP.
Sister, they should drop the felons verse, Trump included.
Spoil will be thrown out, and it allows a pathway for the next munition to go in even deeper and farther, so that successive hits on the same point will allow increased penetration and increased lethality.
All eyes now on Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, home to the B-2 stealth bomber. The U.S. is the only military in the world with the capability to strike this buried program with a conventional weapon using its B-2 bombers, which can fly at 50,000 feet, carrying 2 massive 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs. There are 2 entrances to Fordo.
If they wanted to go after the portal entrances, it's likely that they would use
Amen, Francisco. Amen.
So we could drop 2 bombs per portal.
Francisco Cisnero. Amen.
Air escort for protection. It's a 30-hour round trip to the Mideast from Whiteman that requires a massive air refueling bridge. That is why the Pentagon ordered dozens of refuelers to bases in the UK and the Middle East. Lieutenant General Mark Wetherington is a former B-2 pilot and served as Deputy Commander of the Air Force Global Strike Command.
There'll be dozens of tanker aircraft supporting it. There'll be electronic attack and command and control missions and all sorts of support to this type of a mission. And so it's a very complex mission.
The mission, General Wetherington says, will rely on the quality of the intelligence about the Fordo site. Jackie?
Jennifer Griffin, thank you. Appreciate it. Well, some opinion pieces highlight the potentially historic choices the president faces in his decision-making. The New York Post editorial board with "Keep the focus on stopping Iran's nukes. Regime change is too risky a game." And Karl Rove writes in the Wall Street Journal, "Trump's clarity on Iran and the questions that remain, he hasn't wavered in his view that Tehran can't have nuclear weapons. Now he'll have to decide what to do about it." Michael Allen is a former special assistant to the president and senior national security director under President George.
Who's denying God? What are you talking about? Who's denying God?
Transform your water and live hydrated.
The operation President Trump planned was bold and it was brilliant, showing the world that American deterrence is back. When this president speaks, the world should listen. And the U.S. military, we can back it up. The most powerful military the world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth could have conducted the operation that the chairman is going to outline this morning. Not even close. Just like Soleimani found out in the first term, Iran found out when POTUS says 60 days that he seeks peace and negotiation, he means 60 days of peace and negotiation. Otherwise, that nuclear program, that nuclear capability will not exist. He meant it. This is not the previous administration. The President Trump said no nukes. He seeks peace, and Iran should take that path. He sent out a truth last night saying this: any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what was witnessed tonight. Signed, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Iran would be smart to heed those words. He said it before, and he means it. I want to give recognition to the chairman.
Hopefully this works. Give it a moment. Are we there? Are we there? I think it's worked. I think it worked. I think it worked. I think we're live on YouTube again. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. This is in Tel Aviv. Now,
so this is going on in Tel Aviv as Israel.
have a video from Haifa coming up of damage. Okay. So this is in Tel Aviv. Haifa is coming up. Sorry, I just... So this is... This is Tel Aviv. I haven't seen the damage at this place yet. Haifa coming up.
This is after the bombing of Fordo by the United States. They retaliated and bombed Iran. So this is aftermath of the bombing. This is the response that Iran had towards the bombing of Fordo and their military bases. So this is the damage after Iran responds to the United States military attacking them. They bombed Iran, Israel again.
Posted a video, I think maybe from this scene in Haifa.
We're watching Israel right now. This is live in Israel.
The current...
Okay, you go behind the line, okay? No.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. The Israeli Defense Forces say that the Israeli Air Force has begun a series of strikes toward military targets in western Iran. Okay? So, more Israeli strikes being carried out now after these missile launches. Again, the Israel is carrying out more strikes in Iran. One of the missiles hitting. One or more of the missiles hitting. I just posted it in the chat. It says it's in Tel Aviv. It says it's in Tel Aviv. Now we have a video for Tel Aviv, but it's not really showing that much in detail. So we're sticking with this video from Haifa right now. Reportedly, I think there's the latest I heard was 16 casualties, one. And most of those were light, but that number could very well go up. The latest update was from the MDA, 15 lightly injured, 1 moderately injured. But again, that number could go up as the searching of the different scenes progresses. A quick thank you, by the way, to Mr. Quasimodo, Gene Crane. Mr. Quasimodo says, let's take a moment to play for peace. Gene Crane, Fu Misith, Sullivan, Valerie, Melissa, thank you. Mechanical Dad, Paige Heddes.
Not the Honda Civic, guys.
Jordan F. Stop. Thank you.
I bet you that shit still turns on.
Also, Alice.
It's a Civic right there, guys. Look, a Honda Civic. Look at that shit.
Fleazy on Twitch, Vision on Twitch, James A99.
I said, I bet you that shit still turns on. So this is the aftermath of Iran retaliating after the United States decided to get involved and attack their bases.
So now what happens? We've had the U.S. bombing those nuclear sites. Huge breaking news. U.S. bombing 3 nuclear sites, including Fordo in Iran. Then Iran launches, roughly 25 missiles we're hearing or so at Israel. Now Israel launching some new strikes at Iran. Is Iran going to keep launching missiles at Israel? I don't know. I don't know where all this is going at all.
Yeah, right. Somebody has to explain that to the insurance company. Hey, don't worry about it. I got it all on video. They were just bombed by the motherfuckers in Iran. Full coverage should cover that shit. It should fall under vandalism. Shit.
K-H-Y-B-E-R. I know nothing about it, but that is what their state media is claiming, that the Khyber missile. You have to look it up. It's an Iranian medium-range ballistic missile unveiled in 2023. Maybe they did, I don't know. But that is from Iranian state media. They claim that they fired the Khyber missile for the first time. Hang on, I have too many things open on my desktop.
Not the screen going black on us, chat. So you guys are just tuning in. What we're watching here is the live aftermath of Iran responding to the United States of America bombing.
That's in Tel Aviv, guys. I don't even know if that's damage or not. Could be the apartment building, could be under construction. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. And then that is Haifa. That's Haifa. That's Tel Aviv. Haifa there, Tel Aviv there.
General McCaffrey, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., Donald Trump announced a news briefing at the Pentagon with his chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General McCain, and his Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. What do you expect we will hear from them?
Well, for one thing, I'm sure they're going to reinforce the president's message. I think from a strictly military perspective, this was a decisive, bold, consequential attack. Iran was in a weakened condition. The U.S. had the technology to carry out what is probably a long-term impact on Iran's nuclear program. So I was surprised he ordered the attack, but I think it was in many ways a bold and good move, certainly for Israel and to some extent the United States. Now comes, and by the way, the reason I was surprised, I think it's a political disaster for him. His own party's split apart on the issue. The Democrats oppose it. The American people oppose it. And it presumes there won't be an Iranian counterstrike. I can't imagine why in the next 72 hours, even in their weakened state, they don't come up with a series of moves which should then generate, in my view, commitment of U.S. air and naval forces to attacking Iran. So we're at war with Iran right now. We'll have to see what happens. The other thing I would also assert, though, is you cannot destroy the Iranian nuclear program. You can set it back a year or 10 years, but the people, the technology, the knowledge is all there. The North Koreans, a primitive state, now have a viable nuclear attack capability on the United States. So we're headed for troubled waters. It might be an incentive for negotiations in the coming months, but tomorrow is going to be a dangerous day.
It's interesting. You just said we are at war against Iran. It is a sentence that Donald Trump did not utter in his remarks. Do you think he believes or sees the country at war with Iran?
No, I think he believes this was a one-off, and he's hopeful that they'll now come back to the negotiating table. I think he's probably incorrect on that. Again, I would assert that the Iranians have very few viable military options, one of which is, however, to close the Persian Gulf, affect the price of oil dramatically, conduct terrorism campaigns against the United States directly or in our allies. Certainly cyber attacks is another possible, even likely outcome of this. And then what will we do? Will we just ignore it and sort of wait for the further development of the situation? I think we'll take immediate action. We have a lot of military power in our region. There are 2 carrier battle groups there now. A third has been alerted to deploy. There's a lot of U.S. Air Force aircraft on the ground, not just in Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, but also in Italy and the UK. So the potential to conduct a significant air campaign against Iran is there. And if they strike us in a significant way, if there's a golden BB that lands on a U.S. Destroyer in the Arabian Sea, then we'll up the ante considerably and almost immediately.
What does it mean for the country at large to be, as you said, at war with Iran or on a war footing with Iran?
I cannot imagine it will be well received. The Republican Party will rally behind him. I'm relatively sure the majority of certainly congressional and governors who are all eyeing future presidential contests. But the American people will wait and see how it comes out. Will we be hurt by the Iranian response? Will this go badly wrong? One thing won't happen. There will be no Israeli ground combat intervention in Iraq. Special ops, Mossad, sure. There will be no
Stop war. What's up, Dennis?
committed to
Pablo, we are screwed.
Although if we made up our mind to do it, we could
What's good, guys?
carry out that operation also.
Doorship Captain, he says he's done. I don't know if he left already. If you left, peace out.
There's very little
Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, bro.
return to the negotiating table. I'd be dubious that that's the likely outcome in the short run.
Oh, you're back, bro. I thought you left. Like I said, if you guys got any videos you guys want to see,
Just look at the destruction here. This was an Iranian missile that hit about 2:30 in the morning, central Israel. This is a residential neighborhood. 6 people understood at least to be killed here. Rescue and recovery still going on. You look down here, you see children's toys in here. This is still an area that's not safe. The police literally right next to me at the moment here telling us that we're going to have to move because it is a dangerous area. The buildings are partially collapsed. Search, rescue and recovery going on. People believed to be still trapped in the rubble under these buildings around us here. There are rescue dogs. There is thermal imaging going on here. The advice for the government has been stay close to shelters because civilian neighborhoods like this one, they can get hit. And that's what happened overnight last night.
June 13. Imagine you're asleep, bro. Imagine you guys are asleep and just hear that shit coming, bro, and that's it. Look at this shit. So it looks like, guys. They're all missiles. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
There have been multiple strikes by Iran across Israel, from Tel Aviv to Haifa. The Iranians saying they fired drones and in the region of 100 missiles at Israel. There are reports of damage in residential areas and people injured, and in some cases severely. Meanwhile, in Iran, Israel is now targeting fresh sites, including gas fields and oil installation. There have been multiple strikes by Iran.
It's Gaza.
At 5 a.m. this morning, the sirens went off. This is the aftermath of what happened. This is a very residential neighborhood just outside of Tel Aviv. The damage here is vast. There are cars that have been flipped over one another. There are homes that are utterly destroyed, and 2 people lost their lives here. At 5 a.m. this morning, the sirens went off. This is the
This is the site where one of those Iranian missiles made impact last night. 1 man, 1 woman were killed in this house. The Israeli police also put out an image of a baby being rescued from the rubble. Many people were injured. This is a residential area, Rishon LeZion. We're about 15 minutes from the center of Tel Aviv. A lot of journalists around here, quite a lot of onlookers down there, because they've not seen something like this happening before in Israel. And if you just spin around with me here, you can also see cars, houses damaged all along the block. This is the site where one of
Do you guys follow this guy right here? You guys follow this guy?
Without private investment, it would definitely be difficult for American manufacturing to compete overseas.
If I had been given what I planned for Gladys, I would have finished up queen of the world.
Father, what does this mean?
That we have a lot of support.
So,
actually,
hello everybody. I'm here. I made it. We had some technical challenges. No, my home studio is not bombed tonight. Hello everybody. Tonight's a very serious evening. I first just want to say we have to, regardless of your opinion of this operation, which I do want to hear about, this operation was done seamlessly. And you better believe the military capacity, the military might of the U.S. military was on full display for the world to see. Only the U.S. military can handle, and not even the Russian military would be able to do something like this. And I got to be honest, like, we did not even know it happened until it announced. Now, I had my phone off because of Shabbat, but now that I'm looking back at text, I was getting a little bit... Everything really big happens on Shabbat, like the Trump assassination.
Getting shot. No,
the other Trump assassination.
No, exactly. Don't get me started. So it's like, and so I was getting some, I like three hours ahead of time, I was starting to get some like, hey, game on. I didn't know because my phone was off and I have no regrets. So, first of all, only the U.S. military would have been able to pull this off. And honestly, you know, we've kind of been, there's been some doomerism about the U.S. military. Like, oh, it's super